Welcome to the Jehovih Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal.
That's right. It's your hostess with the most. It's burning like toast is. Fresh off of the curb. My nigga, my nerve, jelly jam and preserve, cause mine up in this thing, man. Hey, y'all hit that thumbs up, sub, like, share. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm not gonna even keep you long on this one. But it's miraculous the things that we learning in these times. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to understand that we have a source for this information that was given and explained before science even knew these things even existed, right? So without further ado, this is Jehovah Chronicles number 135. I know I'm gonna get up there and change it. It's number 135, Debunking Big Bang. And today we are going to use one of our main sources, the James Webb Telescope. If anybody tell you telescopes ain't real, just stop talking to them. You know, if they try to tell you there ain't no space, there ain't no sun, just stop talking. You know what I mean? Because from the outside in, nobody can tell which one is the fool when you start arguing with these people. You know? With that being said, let's get to it, man. Shout out to Cosmos. This Cosmon Cal. Oh, you hold on. Before we go in, let me just check it. See who we got up in this thing real quick. You dig what I'm talking about? Give some shout outs before we go in. We got up in here the Cali Connect. Say peace to the gang. FGK, man. False God killers all day, man. Gang, gang. You already know. My Ema has forever been better than yo Ema. Mahalia Naturals. She say peace, love, and light to the creator gang, gang. Who else we got up in here? We got Elijah 7 up in this thing. Say peace, family, creator, and Yoa be with you. That's right. We got Ray up in this thing. Hey, Ray. You dig what I'm talking about? Who else we got up in here? We got Jehovih. You dig what I'm talking about? Them Zoe boy them. Them Zoe boy them. Huh? Shout out to Jehovih. Who else we got up in this thing? We got Prince Judah Vaughn up in the crib. You dig what I'm talking about? Gang, gang. Love and light out there to you. Who else we got up in here? Honor and humility. STL. That's Malachi Maccabee. Y'all go over there, sub, like, share, man. But before y'all leave that, y'all hit this sub, like, share, go out. Make sure you hit all of them. Then go over there to Honor and Humility STL, and y'all hit that thing up too. Cause this is not gonna be a long one now. Y'all know y'all bro can talk. You did what I'm talking about. So this one, I'ma just let the scientists do the talking for me. You did what I'm talking about, and then we'll reiterate a little bit at the end that Owaspi been telling you niggas this. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to homie nonetheless. Say peace to the fam, man. Peace to you, brother. Who else we got up in here? Ray and Shay up in here. You dig what I'm talking about? Who else we got up in here? Just me in the house with the fam. Peace, love, light, power, Cosmon. That's right. Balance to you. Love and light to you and the children, man. Hopefully I can get a good lesson out there for you today. Yeshaya. Say create a gang FGK all day. That's facts. False God killers. Hey, but hold on one second, y'all. Get this off the screen. And without further ado, shout out. Hold on, wait a minute. Before we do that, always got to get fair use. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and educations. All rights are reserved. With that out the way, shout out to Cosmos Prodigy, and let's get it cracking, y'all.
Approaching the second anniversary of the James Webb Space Telescope's launch, its initial 20 months of scientific operations have profoundly altered our understanding of the universe. However, the telescope is posing significant challenges for scientists as it reveals inconsistencies in our cosmological theories. The exact timeline of when the initial star clusters coalesced into the early formations of the galaxies observed today remains uncertain. While cosmologists had previously estimated this process to gradually unfold within the first few 100 million years after the Big Bang, the James Webb Telescope's findings are prompting a re-evaluation of these assumptions. Currently accepted theories suggest that these early proto-galaxies reached adolescence 1 to 2 billion years into the universe's life, forming into dwarf galaxies that began devouring each other to grow into ones like our own,
That's
the
crazy.
Milky Way. The cosmic Dark Ages, we believed, was a time when the universe was enveloped by a fog of neutral hydrogen that trapped the light of the first stars and galaxies. According to the standard model, The fog didn't lift until 1 billion years after the Big Bang, when the neutral hydrogen had been reionized and once again split apart. And with the end of the Dark Ages, the first stars began to come together to form galaxies, thereby slowly changing the universe to what it is today. That is what our models stated, almost all of them. Then, we launched the James Webb Space Telescope, and suddenly, we found ourselves in a conflict that threatens to change our very understanding of the cosmos.
Whoa!
The discovery of of these assumptions. Currently accepted theories suggest that these early proto-galaxies reached adolescence 1 to 2 billion years into the universe's life, forming into dwarf galaxies that began devouring each other to grow into ones like our own, the Milky Way. The cosmic Dark Ages, we believed, was a time when the universe was enveloped by a fog of neutral hydrogen that trapped the light of the first stars and galaxies. According to the Standard Model, the fog didn't lift until 1 billion years after the Big Bang, when the neutral hydrogen had been reionized and once again split apart. And with the end of the Dark Ages, the first stars began to come together to form galaxies, thereby slowly changing the universe to what it is today. That is what our models stated, almost all of them. Then, we launched the James Webb Space Telescope, and suddenly, we found ourselves in a conflict that threatens to change our very understanding of the cosmos. The discovery of thousands of unusually bright early galaxies by Webb, some even resembling our own, came as a bewildering surprise for astronomers. It was a discovery that put their most basic understanding of how the universe evolved into severe doubt. If these galaxies were like ours, to glow so bright,
Y'all see them
they would need to
spinning
have
vortex?
swollen to enormous sizes in a fraction of the usual time. Typically, a galaxy is bright because it's big, but because these galaxies
Y'all
formed at
see it?
cosmic dawn,
They
not
can't
enough
deny
time has
it.
passed since the Big Bang. How could these massive galaxies assemble so quickly? And how are they so bright that they theoretically shouldn't exist? Scientists have come up with a phrase for these galaxies: too big and too soon. The brightnesses of their magnitude should only come from massive galaxies with as many stars as the Milky Way. Yet, these early galaxies somehow took shape in a fraction of the time that ours did. This predicament led scientists into a perplexing situation, prompting a re-examination of fundamental cosmological principles. Recognizing the need for a comprehensive investigation, a team of researchers turned to a supercomputer, acknowledging the limitations of human understanding in this complex scenario. In their quest to decipher the peculiar radiance of these galaxies, the researchers constructed a model of galaxy formation and subjected it to supercomputer simulations. These simulations replicated the dynamic interplay of gas in the early universe, coalescing and transforming into stars, which in turn gave rise to galaxies. Through meticulous consideration of the young universe's mass, energy, momentum, and chemical composition, the researchers unveiled a possible explanation. They proposed that stars in this early epoch could have undergone sudden, intense bursts of formation following extended periods of quiescence. Termed bursty star formation, this process differs markedly from the steady rate of star birth seen in the present-day universe. The researchers contend that this distinctive mechanism might elucidate the extraordinary brightness of the early universe. Consequently, the team inferred that the radiant galaxies identified by the James Webb Space Telescope in the universe's nascent stages may be the outcome of these bursts of massive star formation, potentially contributing to their higher luminosity compared to expectations for that era. In other words, the universe went through a sudden "let there be light" moment. When Webb began science operations in the summer of 2022, its deep observations of the universe quickly began turning up high redshift galaxies. In fact, the galaxies, which were seen as they were when the universe was less than 400 million years old, appeared more luminous than what the standard model of cosmology predicts for the era. This led to claims that the standard model, which depicts galaxies starring off small and then growing hierarchically through mergers driven by filaments and halos of dark matter in the cosmic web, must be wrong. By drawing results from the simulation, scientists now believe that a galactic system doesn't need to be that massive. If star formation happens and bursts, it will emit flashes of light. That is why we see several very bright galaxies. Most importantly, the results from the new simulations fit with the hierarchical growth model of galaxies as depicted in the standard model of cosmology. But the problem with the standard model doesn't end here. There are several ways the James Webb Telescope is
with
pointing
that
towards
idea
major...
is they think that they can see these things because of the light traveling at a certain speed. It's millions and billions of miles away. You dig what I'm saying? And many of these places y'all talking about 93 billion years. Come on, man. That's old. That's older than the 13 billion that you're saying that the galaxy is. And they don't understand that our atmosphere, what allows us to see our sun, what allows the moon to be seen as big as it is because our atmosphere acts like a giant concave lens. Think like a microscope. A magnifying glass, right? Convex, concave. On one side, it takes things that are very far away and blow them up, right? That's what's happening as we're looking up into the sky, right? But understand that that's vice versa. So it makes things in it, look smaller than they actually are too. But from the outside looking in, it will be throwing light. So, Creator is breaking down this stuff in 1882. They just now finding out with James Webb Telescope in 2024 and 2023. Crazy.
Flaws in a models. Number one, extremely early galaxies.
Hold on. Y'all see that? Y'all see that vortex?
Number one.
Y'all see that spiraling vortex? What's at the center? A sun. Now we understand that these are computer generated images because they have to be. They have to be. What are you going to do? Draw it? You know what I mean? It's shooting back pictures. Code, zeros and ones. And the zeros and ones lay out a picture. This is what we get. Right? So, you could be in your belief and not believe, but, objectively, outside of your subjective belief, we actually looking at this shit. You know what I mean? So we don't need belief. I'm going to show y'all why. Creator say that, look, before I go too far, right, he say, hold on. One second. He said, look, in the past have I not said all things shall be revealed? Do not think that a loud speaking messenger will come, for man would not believe, but I quicken the righteous with my own hand, and they will comprehend without belief. Why? Because the time of preaching and believing is at an end. Man shall know by his own knowledge and practice that which he knows. In this, my light is being manifested today. Right? Look what it say down here. That is what knowledge man has, he will have acquired through his own understanding, and so put it into practice that which he knows. Right?
Extremely early galaxies. Keep in mind that we are talking in terms of cosmic time scale, so when you have a galaxy forming only a few 100 million years after the Big Bang, it's like it happened instantaneously. So the Big Bang happened approximately 13.8 billion years ago, and according to the model, for the first 1 billion years, galaxies did not form. However, the James Webb Space Telescope has shattered that belief. We have found galaxies at the edge of the universe, fully formed and massive. The oldest galaxy we have found using the telescope so far is Macy's galaxy, which existed when the 13.8 billion-year-old universe was just around 390 million years old, which is incredibly young for our cosmic expanse. Not to mention that Macy's galaxy is one of the many candidates that Webb has spotted, and more research and observation can reveal galaxies that existed even earlier than that. Number 2. Scientists just discovered 2 massive objects collided very early in the universe. That's right. Just when cosmologists thought they had a workable theory for when and how galaxy collisions happen in the early universe, the James Webb Telescope challenges them again.
Boom. Just when they thought they had it down with uniform field theory, right? It says one of the laws of motion, it says that an object at rest will tend to stay at rest until acted upon by outside forces, or that an object in motion tends to stay in motion till acted upon by outside forces, but they never tell you what starts the motion. It's the vortex. How do we prove it? Objectively, everything is
a workable theory for when and how galaxy collisions happen in the early universe.
Now look, this ain't gravity. This is centrifugal force. Now watch. Everything, now this is spinning, and everything from here is being pulled towards the center. Not pulled, pushed towards the center by the rotating mass, to the rotating mass in the middle. It's vortex, not gravity.
Just when cosmologists thought they had a workable theory,
just when you thought you had something, just when you thought you had a friend, it come to Faithers. Look. Pushing an Ota van, about to smash into your atmosphere real quick.
When and how galaxy collisions happen in the early universe, the James Webb Telescope challenges them again. In this case, the challenger is a collision of 2 massive galaxy clusters that combine to form a gigantic galaxy cluster. They happened when the universe was half its age, and according to our cosmic model, that's too early. The result of the collision is the El Gordo galaxy cluster, and its existence challenges the Big Bang like never before, because according to it, galaxies form first in the universe, then later on they begin to combine to create larger galaxies and clusters of galaxies. That takes time. So having them show up so early as El Gordo did in cosmic history is a big problem. One question that will need to be answered is whether or not this massive early collision points towards the need for a new model, or changes to the existing one. Number 3. Giant black holes near the birth of the universe. When the James Webb Space Telescope stared at young galaxies, which appear as mere red specks in the darkness, it saw a surprising number with cyclones churning in their centers. Yes, an abundant population of sources scientists didn't know about or didn't anticipate finding at all.
Drop.
The most straightforward explanation.
Now, mind you, look how far ahead of the game we are. These are supposedly the so-called smart guys. They're supposed to have all the answers. They don't know shit. Cosmon, they teacher. Hugh Rose is a teacher. Gang is a teacher. Shout out to the creator, man. He proven they light years ahead of him. And I'm going to debunk the uniform field theory and prove where motion comes from and tie it all in and rename it as the Cosmon theory of relativity. Or the Cosmon theory of motion. Right? Telling you, we light years ahead of these dudes, man. Y'all keep pushing, man. Y'all keep pushing. That light turns on one day and it just goes forever and ever and ever.
It saw a surprising,
just like the universe, by the way. They finding out, just like Jaja said, ain't no end to this.
Number with cyclones churning in their centers. Yes, an abundant population of sources scientists didn't know about or didn't.
Y'all see it. Y'all see it. They call them black holes. No, those are suns before their photosphere becomes lit. Look, this is a pre-sun. Now, see the black body in the middle? Now, look to the edges right here. When the sun has gathered enough material and has begun to spin perfectly, all this becomes light. Right? So you never see the black body anymore. Remember, a sun is eating material. It is always drawing material into itself, moving it from the farther reaches and sublimating material on the way, turning it into electricity, magnetism, electromagnetism, so-called, building kinetic and potential energy all at the same time and creating light depending on which substance it is going through, right? So these are starter suns, what we call black holes. These are just baby suns. This is what a galaxy, this is what a solar system looks like, excuse me, before before the sun is lit, before it looks like this. Before it looks like, hold on 1 second. Let me show you. Hold on, let me go back. Now see that? See the spiraling vortex force with the light in the middle, right? Now the force is still spiraling, right? The force is still spiraling. Let me get back up here. But right here, the atmosphere of the sun is not lit. It is not giving off light yet. So it is still atmosphere. My thing is, when a sun is in its early stages of being and has created a corporeal body at its center, right? Because this is in the center of our solar system. This is the same thing our sun did, right? Before it is gathering up enough material to actually light its atmosphere, you dig what I'm talking about, and create what they call nuclear thermal chemical reactions in the atmosphere that turns this atmosphere to a photosphere, right? Ionizing the photons in the atmosphere, creating light. This is what a solar system looks like before your sun starts to give off light. Till then, it eats everything, and it continues its old life. This is why space is cold, because it literally eats the energy. Any radiation, as a matter of fact, it eats magnetism, it eats kinetic energy, it eats chemical reactions. You dig what I'm talking about? And poops out radiation, right? And that ionized radiation turns the negative particles leaving on from the earth positive. Those photons, they turn them positive, creating light, right? And in that speed of in the flash of an ion turning from negative to positive, we find the speed of light. And you can see that actual change and ions actually leaving the ground on a hot day. When you look out onto the road, you see that wavy, watery. Those are ions turning positive under the rays of the sun, right? But the sun is not giving off light from 93 million miles away through dark ass space. The light is actually produced in the atmosphere of every heavenly body that is facing the earth. So just wanted to give you that. So when they show you these, remember that our sun started off like that too. So my thing is, if this is atmosphere, right? If this is atmosphere, could something live on the sun? Just a thought, right? Because a perfect atmosphere becomes lit and comes photosphere. But before that, is it breathable just like Earth's? Was a man created here too? Think about it. His Earth would probably be old as dirt before ours was even made. Just a thought.
Holes near the birth of the universe. When the James Webb Space Telescope stared at young galaxies, which appear as mere red specks in the darkness, it saw a surprising number with cyclones churning in their centers. Yes, an abundant population of sources scientists didn't know about or didn't anticipate finding at all. The most straightforward explanation for the tornado-hearted galaxies is that large black holes weighing millions of suns are whipping the gas clouds into a frenzy. These are the ancestors of supermassive black holes that seem to appear in the cosmic record inexplicably early. By studying these record-setting youngsters discovered this year by Webb, scientists hope to learn where the first humongous black holes came from and perhaps identify if they grow extremely rapidly or were they simply
Y'all
born
see that
big.
spinning?
Yet the observations are also perplexing because astronomers expected Webb to find many smaller but hungry black holes, but instead they uncovered a throng of bulky black holes that may rewrite our established theories of stars and galaxy formation. Number
Watch
4,
light years
heavy
ahead.
elements missing. Not only did the Webb telescope find extremely massive early galaxies, it also discovered that those galaxies defy rules. A team of astronomers used the JWST to gaze over 12 billion years back in time and observe galaxies as well as the rules they followed through cosmic history. The most surprising discovery was that ancient galaxies produced far fewer heavy elements than we would have predicted, based on what we know from galaxies that formed later. This disparity hadn't been spotted before because instruments used prior to Webb hadn't been powerful enough to see the chemical makeup of galaxies as far back as around 11 billion years ago. The James Webb Telescope, however, allowed this team to look back to just a few 100 million years after the Big Bang, which showed a break in the relationship between star formation, mass, and chemistry. Now, the James Webb Telescope is expected to run for a decade or two, and who knows what intricate details it is going to find out about the origin of the universe that is going to help answer a lot of the questions that we currently don't have the answers to. What do you have to say? Please share your valuable comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Cosmos Prodigy.
Them boys got special. The thing is, they've been trapped in old ideology. You know what I mean? Belief. For so long, you know what I mean? They just regurgitate what they've been told. They never actually sit and look at the thing, judge it meritoriously, and judge it objectively. You dig what I'm saying? I get why people ignorantly think, and I say ignorant because they don't understand, like, you know, how massive the earth is compared to your size, and why it seems flat is because of where you are and how you are subjected to it. You see what I'm saying? Your point of view, you could never tell it was a curve just standing on the regular earth. But if you went to the Van Allen belt, to the mesopoles, you dig what I'm talking about, to the Clark belt, to the thermosphere, you could be out far enough to begin to look, and you still wouldn't perceive the whole earth, because there would be a part on the other side that you couldn't see, but you'd be able to perceive its round nature. And then you'd be able to turn around and look at the moon and see if it's round, right? And we look up there and we see it is. And then we look out there and we look at the sun. We see it's round, but it's way far away, right? And even in the sky, it's roughly 100 million miles away, 93 million miles away. It's as big as our moon is. You know, relatively in the sky, they sit about the same size, but it's way out there. But let's get into some of these, you know, these explanations to really what's going on, man. This is the book of the Creator, the book of Yahweh, right? It says, in which is revealed in the book of Yahweh the three great worlds: corporeal, atmospheria, and etheria, or you could say physical, gaseous, liquid. You know what I mean? You could also say earth, sky, spirit. Oh, I speak. You see what I'm saying? But he's revealing to us the physical part of the world, which is seen, the atmospheric part or gaseous part, which is unseen but rules the scene, and the etheria or ether, which dominates and sublimates and is and without all. Right? This is the so-called medium that sound waves or electric waves or electromagnetic waves or the light spectrum travel in. If you don't believe that there is a medium, try to produce a vacuum. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, it's still gonna be atoms, neutrons, electrons. It's gonna be everything in there. There is no place that there is nothing, right? So this etheric substance sublimates corpore. This is how you age. But as in all other Bibles, every other Bible, it is revealed that this world was created, right? Every Bible say God made this, God made the earth, God made that. God made this. Every Bible say that. But in a WASP, it's revealed how he did it. See the difference? It's cool to tell me, hey, I made the heavens and the earth. I mean, that's cool. Fine. You know what I mean? You did a good, you want a cookie? I mean, that's cool and all, God. But what'll make you powerful is if you can show how you did it and explain it to a man to where it's objectively believable. If you are the creator, truthfully, that is a simple job. Right? And then to make it even more simpler, it'd be even simpler to put it in the book. Right? It ain't hard. If I made a son, I can write a book. So it's cool that you told me you did it, God, but how did you do it? Ask your whatever religion you in. Ask your God how he created the world. Crickets. Look what it say. As other Bibles have proclaimed that there are heavens for the spirits of the dead. Don't every religion say that? You're gonna die, you go to heaven, or you're gonna go to hell, or some type of heaven or hell where spirits go after you die. Correct? Don't every religion teach that? Well, in a WASP, right? It revealed where they are. Where are these places? And what they like or what the manner of them is. And also the glory and work of the spirits of the dead. What do they do? Right? Think grandma just on her knees up there in heaven saying holy, holy, holy all day? Nah. They do something. They progress. They move. At all times. Ain't nothing still here on earth. Why would you think anything would be not moving in the heavens? Show me anything that's standing still. Not even rocks are motionless, standing still. Even they decay and break down. That's that medium, that ether that does that. Owaspi revealed where them heavens is, and through which the wisdom, the power, the love, and the glory of the Almighty is magnified for the understanding of man. Not no super duper nigga. It didn't tell you had to be no prophet, no hell of a guy. You dig what I'm talking about? You ain't got to be a groovy guru, nor an Israelite, nor a Christian, or a Buddhist, nothing. Are you smart enough to understand that there is a creation around you? If you can admit that somebody had to create the trees, somebody created fish and water and earths and suns and moons and stars and galaxy, quasar. Somebody does this. It's there. And it don't just happenstance. And even if it happenstance, why does it work like a clock so well that you literally, I'm not even making a plan, you can literally set your watch by it? If you've already admitted that it works in harmony, you've already admitted to a creator. You've already admitted that there was a mind, because if it works together, then there's mathematics behind it. If there's mathematics behind it, there's a mind. You've already admitted to an all, something that do everything. Look what it say. All was, all is, all shall ever be. That's past, present, and future. That means everything that is now, was then, and will be forever. Let that sink in. Forever is a ill term. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around it. Like, no, like forever. Like no stop. The all spoke. What? That all that was, all the material, the chemical, gaseous makeup, etheric makeup, corporeal makeup of everything made a sound. And motion was created. Right? And ever shall be. So remember when they was asking, and they was telling you that a body in motion tends to stay in motion, right? Until acted upon by outside forces, but they never told you what started it. Here's the all motion being created by sound. Huh? This is called cymatics. Drop back about 10 lessons. I went over cymatics. Right? So sound created motion, and the motion always will be. Huh? This is how you can have potential for energy before you do anything. But energy is always created. It is the result of motion being put upon corporeal, gaseous, and etheric or chemical substances. You dig what I'm talking about? What they call the quantum world. Right? And being positive, so sound created motion, created force. Huh? Don't that sound logical? Guess what? They got a whole science on it. It's called vortex science. But before you get into vortex science, they have a previous science called cymatics. Tap in. You dig what I'm talking about? Let me make sure everybody can see that too. I'll blow it up just a little bit. Blow it up. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Hold on. Hello? Hold on. Wait. All right, my bad, y'all. Let's see if you can see it. Let me move it over a little bit. All right. So, sound, the all spoke, and motion was and ever shall be. So, sound created motion. Huh? This motion, like water, like wind, right? Being positive was called he and him. Right? This motion, right, This force created being positive. So that means it's moving. It's called energy. Right? This is energy. Right? So when they talk about positive, they're not talking about an HIV test. When they're talking about positive, they're talking about as in forces of energy. Positive, negative. You hear what I'm saying? So we know right there, we're talking about positive force created by emotion that never shall cease, that is always creating. But this is why you call the male or the positive force of the creator, you dig what I'm talking about, he and him. Why? Because he is also her and she. You can't be the creator of everything and everything be of you and you not be everything also. Right? Can you show me a left with no right? You dig what I'm saying? There's always some up to every down. That's just how this thing works. You know what I mean? Hold on one second. And being positive was called he and him. We talking about energy. You dig what I'm talking about? The all motion, this motion, right? That creates force to create with. This motion is called vortex. The energy it produces being positive, right? Or meaning it's moving or electric. Is why they call him, he. But the motion in all things is his speech. Is not all life moving? He said it only does that because all things are in motion, and it ever shall be. He said, oh, look, I am, or when you put the I and the A together, it makes the O sound. If you put the A in front of the I, it makes the E sound. So I, A sounds like O, so it's Om. I am convinced that is the sound that was originally created by the all. When it says the all spoke, I'm sure it sounded something like Om, and stuff just start vibrating. Right? And he comprehended all things. That means he knew everything. That's crazy. The seen and the unseen, nor is there anything in all the universe that is not part of him. You know what I mean? So, hold on. I just want to get down here. Let me get to this thing. All right, let me get over here to the book of cosmogony and prophecy. And I'm going to end it real short and sweet. Because the same thing we see going on the earth is the same thing we're going to see going on the moon. It's the same thing we're going to see going on in Jupiter. It's the same thing we're going to see going on in Saturn. It's the same thing we're going to see going on in the sun. Spiraling vortexing energy and light coming from the atmosphere of a heavenly body. Don't nothing change. The system is only one system. It's only one force. Y'all think it's electricity and magnetism or something different. Even science agree with Cosmon. Science say they're the same thing. Electricity and magnetism are the same thing. What makes them the same thing, Cosmon, if you so smart? Well, one is moving and one ain't. Magnetism is vortexia embedded in things like iron. When it don't move, right? But you can free that vortexia. How do you free that vortexia? You can take that same magnet and rub a linen cloth over it and create a spark. You just got to liberate or free the vortexia or magnetism from the iron. That magnetism, right, once it gets to moving through the towel and now through your grounded body, if you touch something else, the force of vortex is released through your body and will produce a spark that is called electricity because it is moving. Right? Hold on. This is the book of cosmogony and prophecy. Look. How you know, Cosmo? Because the same principles apply to all the stars. Don't act like you knew this. You ain't know. Don't even front. You can't go nowhere. You can't go to no Abo class, no African class. You can't go nowhere and get no science like this. We teaching the scientists. Y'all think I'd be playing when I'm saying that? Like, we taught NASA. Y'all better look up Hugh Rose. Why you think vortex science was created? They had to do 10 years of think tanking on it, on just what the brother was dropping. And he gave it to him in the 80s, 84. You dig what I'm talking about? He gave it to him in 84. They didn't create the science to 97. They didn't even get in the book to 88. Huh? I don't be capping. Look, the earth floats in the middle of a vortex. If anybody talking about creation of anything from a human to a roach, to a planet, to a galaxy, if you're not talking about the vortex first, you don't know what you're talking about. Huh? Daggers on the flat earth shit. The earth floats in the middle of a vortex, the outer extremity of which is somewhat beyond the moon. The vortex is globular, corresponding to the form of the earth with slight differences, right? Vortices are not all closed at the ends like the moon. This is why it don't rotate as fast. It orbits, but it don't rotate as fast because the vortex doesn't touch the planet all the way. Some are open at the ends, right? And this is what we're seeing in these videos. Hold on. I'm going to cut the sound down and just... I got to go back. My bad. My bad. I want to show y'all this. I want y'all to know that they know. They just don't know how it starts. They see what they seeing. And every time they see it, they produce what they seeing. And it looked like that. Hold on. It looked like that. Watch this. Every time they see something, it's doing that. Vortexing, spiraling, spinning, condensing, creating heat. Only a waspy told you that happened. Huh? And we knew decades and decades before anybody had said anything about it. So don't cap like you knew. You didn't know. You know? This is the level of stuff being revealed. Boy, we about to theory of relativity, the theory on motion and energy. Because they saying it can't be produced. It's bullshit. Right? Energy is not produced, or is not, it does not decay, it turns into another form. No, it's the same force. And it must move. This is why you have water running over paddle wheels that turns a turbine. Running what? Magnets over each other, creating charge. All right. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. You dig what I'm talking about? Short and sweet. I'm not going to overload them no more. And we just going to keep rocking out. Hey, this is your homeboy, Cosmon Cal, man. Just breathe in. Let the light in. Because I'm Cosmon. And I'm out. Peace, y'all.